So welcome to Therapy with T. Sorry if the camera's shaking a little. I'm using a new tripod situation. Hopefully it'll stop. We'll see what happens. Also, just so everybody knows, I just wanted to explain a little bit about my channel for anyone who's new, which is that I do my readings to just kind of bring healing. So that's kind of my main thing, is to try to bring hope and healing. And I do a lot of different kinds of spreads and I use different decks. So if you are new to this process, I'm going to shuffle and put out 3 different cards, and you're going to pick the one that feels like the most, that you're the most drawn to, or that feels the best to you. And that will then have a coordinating reading with it. So you can check the description and that will tell you the timestamps. So you can just fast forward to the reading, or you can stay and listen to this intro first. So, again, my purpose here is to bring hope and healing, and I love it if it resonates with you and you feel like it is a reading for you and you want to like that video or subscribe. I appreciate all of the support. But whatever happens, I just really love that you're here right now, and if this video found you and you clicked on it, then hopefully there's a message here for you. Don't force anything to fit. If it's not for you, you'll know. I usually know right away when I'm watching other people's readings, so you can just skip my reading today. There's always wonderful readers on YouTube. You can find someone else or check out my other videos, but I do believe that if this finds you, it's meant to. All right, so I'm just doing a little bit of cleansing, and then we'll go ahead and shuffle using this deck that I'm very excited about. All right. And a lot of the time I might shuffle it in silence because I'm just trying to be really present. And the intention is to bring very clear messages to all for the highest benefit of all involved. All right, so these are them. All right. Okay, so these are going to be the 3 cards. So you have pile 1, you'll be this card for courage. I meant to say my hands are have been stained green because I put green in my hair, so that's what that is. Pile 2, if you choose this one, your card is trust. And for pile 3, if you're drawn to this card, transformation, your pile 3. All right. Give you a moment to just check that out. You can pause the video if you need more time. And then I'll just get a little closer up. All right. All right, welcome pile 1. If you chose this courage card, then you are pile 1 and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So I like to read that card towards the end of the reading and do the bigger spread first. And then I always think that it's exciting when the oracle cards really line up with the tarot. So to begin with, if you would just give your spirit team or guides or whatever you call your higher power, guardian angels, just permission to speak to my team so that I can bring forward any messages I read for positive healing and hope. And I say what I see. All right, so pile 1. I had a list of questions I wanted to ask. I forgot to mention in the first part what the question is today. So we are looking at past lives or lives, and what do you need to heal from that? 7 of Pentacles are on the ground. So, okay. On the ground. Interesting. On the bottom of the pile, that's what I meant to say. So my first question about past lives and what you might need to heal in this life. Whoa. Well, that is really magical because that's literally what was on the bottom. And then if you saw it flipped out and landed on the floor, and it was the 7 of Pentacles. So the deck was like, excuse me, we wanted to be part of this. So we're going to put that there. So I'm going to put some more cards out before I start telling you the hits I'm getting. But there could be some, like, just very obvious, like some past life where you were orchard farmer, or you worked as a migrant farming, picked apples, or even like in rice fields, some type of farming situation there. 7 of Pentacles, growth. All right, anyway, here we go. So this is going to be sort of the subject. This is going to help me understand that. The next question is, for pile 1, what aren't they seeing? What aren't they seeing from the past that they need to heal now? You have the King of Pentacles. I'm going to put this here. I think you can still see that, yeah. Okay. What do they need? What does pile 1 need to let go of? I am feeling this card. Wow. There's 2 King of Pentacles, and pile 1, you got both. This is a very powerful reading with very much like synchronicities and divine timing, and some like very purposeful things are coming out even when I try to ignore it. So you have both of the King of Pentacles. I wonder if that's a typo and it's supposed to be Queen of Pentacles. I'm gonna look at that in just a second. Okay, so that's what you let go. Let's do, what does pile 1 need to work on to help with this? Ace of Swords. Okay. And then I do feel like I have room for one more. Yes, I do. What do they need to focus on? Six of Pentacles. Interesting. I did get a hit of like this miserly feeling, like this past life where, and no judgment, because if it is in another time, circumstances were a lot harder and rougher for most people. But I'm getting a hit that this could be like just some very much impoverished or very miserly because there wasn't enough resources. So there could be some fall out or some carryover of that in your life now, where you maybe feel like you're always in a lack mentality or like a negative money kind of vibe. So that's one. I'm gonna go ahead and do another row here so I can have some more clarification on what the message is here. Okay, so the Creatrix. I believe that this is the card for the Magician. Yes, the Creatrix. Interesting. And then you have the Lovers. The Four of Wands. Whatever this is from this past life affects the way that you interact or have romantic relationships. There's, yeah, like this sense that there's not enough. So you, like, you hold back. Like you hold back, and you hold back your, if your own soul energy is like a resource, you hold back your resources from your partner. That's kind of a vibe I'm getting. If you're not in romantic relationships, or that's not even, like, that's not the focus, this could be affect how you work with others. And then you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, how you, that's literally about collaborating or working with others. So thank you, team, because that's very clear confirmation about that too. Okay, I'm going to do one last row of the tarot and then do some interpreting and then some oracle cards for ultimate magical confirmation. So, seven, and I'll look up the two King of Pentacles in the book. Yeah, there's this feeling too of like having lived a grand life in a castle and feeling like that should be your life or circumstances now, and it's maybe not, or that's like the past. Almost like, this is so literary, but like a peasant in a, you know, impoverished area looking up at the lights of a castle and thinking, I deserve to be there. And that could be affecting how you perceive your worth now and your relationship with money and finances now. Lovers is oftentimes also like a choice. So team is saying like you have a choice on how you can, how this relationship can be continued, or how you can manifest a different relationship with finances. It's not just like money and finances. It's like it's the way that possibly some of those of you who have found this perceive life affecting them or holding back from them. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So again, okay, that's crazy. This is like very clear. Let me read. I need to see if those are... This is a very cool deck that I got. The Tarot of Mystical Moments. I'm obsessed. It's like silver. Oh, I love it. Okay. Let me see if there's actually two King of Pentacles, or if that's some interesting mistake. Female King of Pentacles. This card shows the female king in a garden surrounded with blooming flowers. The blossoms have round golden centers. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Stability, security, savvy businesswoman. Wealth, business acumen, management skills, discipline, financial adeptness. Yeah, like maybe there was poor financial choices in that past life. Maybe like, and again, this is for fun, so I don't know what your past life was, and if you don't believe in them, then you don't believe in them. I was actually raised in a religion that believes in reincarnation, so let's just say, what if you had a past life and you, oh, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, you even maybe worked for a very like affluent person, or a king or a prince or something like that. So you're always close to that kind of affluence. But there's this sense of like holding back, or you felt like life, and there's a feeling now that you feel like life holds things back from you, that you're maybe not getting what you feel like, not even that what you feel like you deserve, but that life is, that you maybe look at other people and it seems like it's easier for them to grasp what they want. So I also wanted to look at the Seven of Pentacles in this deck, because every deck interprets differently. So with the Seven of Pentacles, it is again about like investment, sustainability, results. Typically the Seven of Pentacles is somebody is like tilled the field and they're waiting for like the harvest or the bounty. So it feels like a very clear message of a situation where you were living in poverty, maybe incredibly poor, and working every day of your life. And if that's still reminiscent of what you're doing now in your life, like grinding, that can be pretty triggering if you already have like this, you know, generational or reincarnated stuckness around money and being very well off, or having all your needs met, having nice things, that there's sort of a fear around that, and maybe you hold back in life about things now. And I'm just getting that it's connected to that kind of poverty mentality, lacking necessary resources, lacking what you need to thrive. We have Page of Inspiration, which is Page of Wands. So now in this present life, it's this idea of you can reinvent how you're going to see success and resources and affluence. So affluence could be money and having really nice furniture, having like going out to Starbucks every day, or getting whatever it is you want from Amazon, and feeling like that's really success because you don't have to worry. So it's just an idea of saying like, what kind of perspective do you want to have about this, and how can you and so if it is affecting relationships, whether they're personal or work-related relationships, there's this sense of holding back again. So maybe you, maybe this kind of past life thing has kind of not interpreted, but has come about now in a way that just you shut yourself off from fully participating. I'm struggling to get the words out, but the cards are really clear. So let's hope somehow this is making it through. Because there's, again, there's just like this interesting story of wealth and poverty and being so abundant that you can be generous, and then being so impoverished that you feel like you have to hold back. So again, I just keep saying hold back, but there's something really big about that. Okay, so let's get one more confirmation of this tarot, and then I'm gonna 20 Awakening. This is Judgment. And interesting. This idea of like almost like recognizing that not everything is our responsibility or fault to manage. Like if this is something that's carried over, this could even just be generationally. If you grew up where you were okay or middle class, but your grandparents had to work really hard for what they had, but their kids got to grow up in a more wealthy way, this could also kind of dictate how you see this type of relationship. So I would definitely look at like how in relationship, what's the dynamic with like who pays for things when you're in a romantic relationship? Does that cause a lot of issues in your life? Does it really frustrate you if your partner doesn't pay for things? Do you feel like things should be shared or split? So having those conversations. So if you are in a relationship and this is resonating with you, that this might be one of the reasons that you have friction in your relationship, look at that. What I've been talking about with the holding back and the financial, like the dynamics of being wistful about having more, or being affluent, maybe coming from poverty. And that you can choose, the creatrix is the magician, that's right. You can choose, you have the tools to manifest however you want this to be re-narrated. So you can re-teach your brain, like, nope, we're going to think about this in a different way. So let's do some oracle cards. And then hopefully this message made sense. It was really clear to me. This Isn't that convenient? Let's do some... Can you still see this? Yeah. I'm going to do two piles of tea leaves and pick a couple of these. And then we'll read this courage card. And I have a couple angel cards to kind of help with how can you work on that. So if it's interpersonal relationships or personal romantic relationships, having that, looking at that part of you and saying, okay, so what is this? Like, what was is this causing friction in my relationship, the way that I look at financial interactions with my partner? And if it's in a more of a business sense, like what's causing friction? Like, is it you don't ever want to look at your bank account? Like you're being stubborn and you don't want to like know how much money you're spending, or you're not being really smart about like, you know, making sure you're bringing in enough for what you're spending. Looking at that, is that friction based on like some of that needing to be healed around like how you look at money? Dogs getting together with friends. Yeah, like you might not even feel like you can go out to eat with a friend or something if you're in a position where you don't have enough money, and it can cause stress. It can cause friction in relationships when your friends are like, you never come out with us. And you're like, that's because I'm poor. And they're like, well, we'll pay for you. And then that whole thing just makes you incredibly uncomfortable because your relationship from this past, whatever this is, needs to be worked on for healing around money and finances. So it can like open you up to being actually truly abundant. So you have wealth. Can't make that one up. And throne, position of authority. Yeah, again, getting this king vibe. So it's possible like that, like either in a past life you knew what it was to be very affluent and have everything you needed, and then maybe in your lifetime now you grew up in poverty and it just always felt wrong. But whatever this all is, I feel like I've explained that enough. This holding back scenario it causes friction in your relationships now. You have artistry. May you find harmony in order. I'll look at that. It kind of made me think of just like a four-leaf clover in a pond with rain coming down, and just saying like you make your own luck. That's an idea, but like with this new perspective or narration of your financial relationship or your relationship with money, you can be in a position to have the wealth that you want and be able to be generous with others. But more importantly, it will help with this friction in these relationships. Okay, so let's read this courage card. What is that from? Is that Earth Blessings? And then Sacred Destiny. So let's read, I want to read courage first, even though artistry, we didn't read that, because I got a vibe on it. So, but I'm sure it has a totally different meaning in this book. Courage is a rocky seashore. So resilience, it looks like. Step forward, throw your shoulders back, and stand up for yourself with passion. Speak up for those less fortunate. Be impeccable in all your actions. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. Use your passion to make a difference. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means fearless. Acknowledge your fear and take action anyway. Make a stand. You are strong and powerful and have great valor within you. Interesting. So if you are feeling like another thing where it was saying stand up for yourself, gave me this image of someone who had to be resilient growing up, and like the waves crashing against the shore over and over and over, and still it stands. That this belief, if you did grow up in poverty, or you grew up being like everyone calling you a trust fund baby or silver spoon fed or whatever story was told about you that is connected to the way that you perceive and interact with money now and finances now, there is healing to be done. And some of that could be a story that you told yourself. I'm poor, and so because I'm poor, I can't A, B, and C. Or because I'm poor, then A, B, and C is definitely going to be my plight. Or you had all the money, and then, you know, that was from parents, not your parents. So you had to, or your parents, but not yours. And you had to do the work to find your own path. Whatever it is, the message here is that there is healing that needs to be done in that area to help this friction. Okay, let's read this artistry one. And they're from different seasons. I think that, or different, the cards have different things. And that's considered appreciation autumn, I believe. Yes. So let me find that section and find artistry. May you find harmony and order. From symmetries and spots to waves and spirals, nature's recurring patterns lead you to reflect upon the patterns within your own life. You appreciate how you create harmony from disorder and set new routines that nurture you. May you find yourself in a place of calm. May you notice your habits and tendencies. May you flow and sync with your natural cycle. May you know harmony. Like nature, I live in harmony with myself. So again, knowing your patterns and habits and being able to kind of retrain yourself and the relationship that you have with money. I kind of want to read the creatrix on that, because when it is a magician, it can be manifestation. It could just be talking about having all the tools you need for whatever you're about to do, but this is called the creatrix. So I'm just gonna see what this is. Focus, flow of creative energy. You're getting this idea of flow a lot as well. So maybe some of it is letting go of tight rein on something as well. So it wants you to pick a specific intention and put your like meaningful action towards that. And it is about manifestation or actualization. So again, this idea of flow, this idea of being able to retrain your brain to think of it in a different way. It's creation and being conscious and aware. Okay, so that's what can help you in that process. I feel like all who are still here listening, I often don't remember what I said when I'm doing this. It comes out, and then I hope that it's hitting where it needs to hit and making sense. And I hope I'm making it all come together. So these just came out: commitment, communication, compassion. That's a lot of C's. Thought these were pretty well shuffled. Commitment, communication, compassion. I mean, that sounds like a really good recipe for how to change any kind of mental pattern or behavior that you're trying to retrain, right? Commit to it, communicate about how it's hard, and have compassion for yourself when you mess up. Or I shouldn't say you mess up, but you fall back into old patterns and old habits and try again. So keep committing to that and communicating. One thing that I'm getting hit is like you can communicate to people about your discomfort with money. You can say, you know what, I have some issues I'm working on around finances and money, and that's probably where this friction is coming from. Or if your friends are wanting you to go out to eat, there's something freeing about admitting, like, here's what this is coming from. I'm having a money issue. It's not a wanting to hang out with you issue. So there's some like being courageous and like saying what is going on, and not being afraid or ashamed. Okay, that's what I'm getting. That was the past life. What might be affecting like your situation now, and this was very much about wealth and finances and how it's affecting relationships. Really interesting and really cool, and super confirmed by the cards, which was really cool. If it resonated with you and you want to claim this and you want to say why in the comments, or like or subscribe, I appreciate it. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful night. Thanks for being here, and my green hands, and I say goodbye. All right, Sorry, the camera's maybe shaking a little. Let's fix that. All right, pile 2. If you chose pile 2, you chose this trust card. This awesome moonlit beach scene. While that camera is, well, I guess it stopped shaking. Just gonna do this really quickly. If you could give your spirit team permission to talk to mine so clear messages for the higher good of all involved can come through. And we just will thank our teams right off the bat for helping with those messages. And we'll talk about that trust card at the end. First, we're gonna do some shuffling. I did just shuffle all the decks, but I want to shuffle again. And I'm gonna do that in silence. Checking to see if that's making the camera shake. Hopefully it doesn't, because I don't want anyone to feel nauseated. Okay, so pile 2. What from the past life or lives is affecting them now? What do they need to heal? If you can help us with messages of healing. What aren't they seeing? In the first pile, a card went flying out and I put it here, and then I just really liked it being there, so I'm going to do that again with the first card that we pick. And this one was moving, so I'm going to make that be that card. And I apologize for my green colored fingers. I was putting color in my hair and it stained through everything. So that's what that is. Okay. I feel that one. Piles. Okay, so interesting. So if I have the High Priestess and the Star. Okay, Page of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Science, art, theater, there's law. I'm getting a lot of different, like, maybe it's like a fight between the head and heart, like the theater arts or the being a doctor, lawyer. Yeah, balance, temperance. Do I have space for one more card here? I do. All right. Star, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. What do I let go of? Oh, I have both of these cards. 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, holding on. What do they need to let go of? Holding on to something. Brain and heart, balancing. Okay, let's get some more cards. I got this like total picture of someone jumping off of a cliff from like the moors with a castle, maybe not even a castle, but just like one of those like Wuthering Heights sort of backdrops. Somebody jumping off into the water to like not be around anymore, to unalive themselves. Someone might have been pregnant and they couldn't have the baby. This again, I'm just trying to pick up on past life stuff. I don't even know if I'll do this topic again. I got this idea from someone. I wanted to try it and see what came out. There's this idea, because here we have a nest. We have these bones of these birds. I'm getting this vibe of, yeah, something about maybe unwed mother, pregnancy. Not being able to raise a baby for their life, not being able to have that. 8 of Swords. Yeah. I'm getting an idea of some real big loss in a past life that's definitely affecting you now. That some healing needs to be done about this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put all the cards out and then we'll talk about it. And as I go, I'll let you know. Something always feels missing for you now. You maybe even joke that like you ate your twin in your mother's stomach because you felt like there's something that's always been missing. You have the Two of Swords with the Eight of Swords. That's something you really had no control over, couldn't see coming, something like that. It's like you have it's maybe you're younger and you've never even been in love, but you feel like this deep loss and you don't know where it came from, or you don't know where, like you've never had anybody in your life die or experience any of these really big things, but there's something in you that always feels like that a part of you died, almost like you lost a chunk of yourself. That's what I'm getting. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, that's really affirming the mother part. So some of you could have a lot of issues with your mother. Some of you could be a mother. You might have given up a child for adoption. You might have lost a child, or you might be raising kids and you're struggling with feeling like a mother, whatever that means. Oh, what was I just watching? I was just watching a movie about this, and it was like someone lost a baby when they were really young, and then it made them not want to love their children in the future because they were so terrified of losing them. That pain was so intense. It's almost like if that is not a story that's happened to you, and if that's not maybe a generational thing that maybe has been passed down, like that happened to a mother or a grandmother, this could be a past life thing, or this is like this vibe that you are missing something, a piece of you, and it is affecting you now in your relationships and in your life. Okay, so what can they do about that? What is the healing here? King of Pentacles came up in the last reading as well. Or no, that's the first one. Is that the first one? Yes. Anyway, King of Pentacles. So yeah, it's feeling stable. It's like affecting how you feel stability in your life. Feeling like something's always missing. And like you know, but you cannot for the life of you see what it is. It's like you could literally be sitting in a dark room and there's an exit right in front of you and you wouldn't be able to see it because it's so dark. So let's get some confirmation cards. I'll use my Muse deck because that helps, and then we'll get some oracle cards. Okay, so what can they do? Oh, we had the Fool, taking a leap of faith. We have Seven of Pentacles. So like reaping what you sow, waiting for your harvest. Please help me understand so I can give a clear message to pile 2 about what can they do about that feeling other than recognizing it. 9 of Cups. It's almost like all you can do is recognize that you do have this feeling, and maybe try to attribute the credit to the right place. And if this has not happened to you, if it has not happened to your mother, if it has not happened to your grandmother, because I do believe that things are scientifically, this is being proven, passed down in our blood, in our DNA, that if that happened to a mother or a grandmother, that could be in your genes, that feeling of total loss. And it might not, I brought up baby because that's what I got. That could be just too specific to one person watching, but whatever this is, acknowledging this is part of the process of healing it. So it's like taking a leap of faith to believe that that's an actual thing that could have happened, and maybe like you don't take it seriously, or you think that's so ridiculous or a joke, but it is like trusting that it, oh yes, trust, but it's like trust that this isn't in your head, you're not making this up, this is how you feel, it's valid. And yeah, validate yourself knowing, okay, I feel this way, so what can I do about that in present? Feeling like something's missing or I've lost something. So again, definitely getting like the acknowledgement of it is going to go a long way. I'm going to pick a couple of more cards for you. What other advice can we give or messages? Because this is not really clear. Acknowledging that that might be where the pain comes from. Okay, but then what can you do? I want these ones. Signs. May you see the synchronicities. All right, we have that, and we've got trust. And I want to pick some of these tea leaves. I'll do 2 piles and pick 2 from each. Can you please help pile 2 so they have something that they can maybe focus on to do with the healing of this? And again, I just keep hearing, I want this green one, that with time, sorry, with acknowledgement of it, not time, with acknowledgement that's one of the major things is to trust and believe that it's a thing that's really there and acknowledge it, and don't just like poo-poo it or naysay yourself or gaslight yourself or tell yourself you're being woo-woo or crazy, or you don't have to share it with other people if you don't want to hear what their opinion is either. Like, you don't have to be like, in my past life, I think this happened and that's why I feel like I have a huge loss now. You can keep that as special to yourself. You don't have to share that with people if you feel like they won't receive it well. Okay, let's get into this. Let's look at this. We have marriage, so connection and interaction, but like partnership. This could be affecting your partnership. This could be affecting getting married. This could be making you doubt yourself in a lot of connections with people. Pin says new job or career. And I keep forgetting to mention, if a pin reminds you of your grandma and your grandma, this happened to them, that's what this is for, not what I say it is. If you start putting together signs, if you start seeing things, you're like, that reminds me of that, that is absolutely legitimate, and trust your intuition here, because we all have psychic abilities. So I love it if you are like, nope, this means this, that's crazy, that's what that means. Like maybe you wear your grandmother's ring, like whatever it is, that is what it means. You have broom, new home, new attitude. Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. Okay, so something, a new attitude about it. Okay, so this could even be affecting your career. I know it says marriage, and it definitely could be affecting your interpersonal relationships, but I got this vibe of like not going for a job that you want because you don't feel like you are responsible enough. Like you don't feel like you can do it, like you won't be able to do a good enough job, that you'll mess up, that you messed up in the past, or some kind of thing like that, that you're lacking or missing the requirements. So that could be one way that this shows up now, is this feeling like you lack something, so you're not good enough for it. Let's look at these two. Let's do signs first. And it is a fall color. Okay, the universe often shows us signs: a white feather, the sudden landing of a bird, a meaningful shape in the clouds. You take notice and pause. You welcome these signs as confirmation of your internal knowing. May nature communicate with you through signs. May you ask for a sign and notice it when it comes. May the signs you see bring you guidance and comfort. May a sign appear when you most need it. I position myself to receive messages from the universe. So I do feel like part of this like idea of acknowledgement is recognizing that you're not making things up, and that these signs and synchronicities are really happening, and to trust yourself in that, believe in that it's not just coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's a sign that you can trust yourself. I can't spell today. L-M-N-O-P-Q-R-S-T. Truth is not the same as trust. Truth and trust. Desert. This is a powerful and important card to receive, even when things seem parched or not fruitful. Oh, because it's the desert. Parched or not fruitful. Where did that go? A deeper energy speaks of the power of your inner knowing. Meditate, trust those nudges from the universe. Your celestial advisors are close now. You are now open to receive some of the most important messages of your life through your intuition. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. That's funny that I brought that intuition part up, and now that's all about that. So that's not just a coincidence, that's synchronicity there. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. And even if there are some areas of your life that seem lackluster, know that other areas are being fertilized for a resplendent future. Have faith and know that there is a higher purpose. Very cool. Loving that for you, pile 2. That's great. I don't feel like I wanted to pick some angel card affirmations, but seriously, do some acknowledgement of this and recognize that you're not crazy or woo-woo or whatever. See those signs. It's like maybe like that feeling like you can't create something or you don't have that. Anyway, okay, birth. Well, that confirms to me about the pregnancy, loss of child thing. Vision, using your psychic ability to see things. It says soul sight future and understanding. Yes. Once you understand that this is not in your head and that you can see things in a different way than with your eyes, it's going to do a lot of the healing of this connection. And you would probably know more what this connection is. So if you feel like this resonates with you and you want to drop a comment explaining how, or just to claim it with like a smiley face, or you want to subscribe, love it. Otherwise, either way, I appreciate you being here. And I hope that this was a message that was helpful and it made sense to you. And follow your intuition, pile 2. And me and my green stained nails say goodbye. Thank you for watching. So sorry, I keep hitting the camera and it wobbles on you. All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose this card of transformation, then this is your reading. And the question today is, what from your past life needs healing right now in your current life that's affecting you? And the first 2 piles have been pretty cool, like super cool how the cards were really affirming what I was putting down. So that is always really exciting. Just quickly doing some Palo Santo for cleansing, and then we'll get right into it. All right, so again, we're doing a questioning what from the past needs to be healed now, currently. And by past, I'm sorry, I should have said that. Past life, past lives. And I've never done anything like this, and I'm not even sure what I think, but it's been really cool. Oh, I'm gonna take that because it wanted to come. So yeah, so that's the topic. What from a past life or lives affects you now that needs to be healed? So what can you do? And then we'll ask, like, what can you do to work on healing that? So start with what it is and what you don't see first. And then we'll read some of these oracle cards at the end, and hopefully it's magical, as the other 2 have been. I forgot to ask you if you would give your spirit team permission to speak to mine. I like to think that it's a timeless reading, so even if you in a year saw this and gave permission, that spirit guides don't work on the same linear timeline as we do. So at any point you could watch this. Okay, so please give your team permission. I am gonna turn some of these over. 6 of Pentacles, the High, or the Priestess in this deck is the High Priestess. And Strength. Cool. So for some of you, I'm getting like that you were a healer, mystic, some type of divinator. Like this is a tool of divination, tarot, using something to bring forth messages. Well, there we go. We've got 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you were like there's a past life free-spiritedness, which doesn't always work super great in our history as far as like out there powerful women. I'm getting a super feminine vibe of this. So whether you are gendered female now, you identify that way or not, or this is, again, we're talking about past lives here. But there's this, this idea of like dancing under the moon, being a healer, being strong, working with other women to help heal. And this maybe did not go over well wherever this was. Seen as weird, homophobia even. So I'm getting some of that stuff. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, I'm done with this deck. Thank you, Muse deck. Let's do... Oh, they are popping out tonight. Okay, that's crazy. So you got the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands just popped out together. I've been shuffling this deck multiple times tonight. This is like what you can do and let go of to work on whatever this is. So I'm going to keep going because I want the big picture first before I start saying anything more. Okay, so pile 3, what can I do? The Chariot, big changes, big moves. Interesting. Yeah, beat your own drum, being considered weird or a freak. The Emperor. Yeah, so taking your power back, being the boss of however you want to perceive yourself as that's the truth. Interesting, with transformation as well. Yeah, interesting. So for those of you that identify as LGBTQ or queer, non-binary, whatever you identify in, there's definitely this vibe of like this being very strong, and there's a feminine energy with it that was like looked at like, I'm not saying burning witches time. It feels more like, yeah, like Egypt, like way before that. But there's this idea of being looked at as a freak or as being just not belonging, like you didn't fit in. And that's affecting you now and something you can heal in this lifetime. So, and it seems like you're doing that. Yeah, I feel like you figured this out almost. Like some of you already know this. You know that there's some type of severe exclusion or being ostracized from a group or a community or a family or something like that. There's this past life thing there. That's what I'm getting. Or like you were in love with someone of the same sex and you were being ostracized. There's something like that, that you were a free spirit, or what other people would have said, you're a free spirit, you were a healer, you had psychic ability, and you used your intuition. But all of these things at the time where this was not considered normal or okay. And so now, some of you don't realize how incredibly attractive you are. I think some of you might have some serious body dysmorphia, maybe based on some of this. There's this, the Queen of Wands is considered the most attractive person in the deck. It's the most popular and attractive. And so it's like, maybe you don't see that. Maybe people always want to be your friend and you don't get it. Like, you're like, why? Or like, I didn't realize, something like that. Let me get some more information here. What can you confirm? How is this affecting them now? Oh, that's what I was saying. It feels like you've already recognized this truth, or this, maybe you haven't been able to even put words to it, but you've realized this feeling of not belonging or feeling excluded, or like you don't make sense. And that you kind of took power back from that and maybe embraced that and was like, yeah, because I'm cool and I'm like, so entertaining and interesting and stunning and all these things. But now that's sort of in the past. You've moved forward past that first beginning steps of this and had a pretty big like shift. So I feel like either that's happening right now when you find this reading, that you're having like a huge like moment of an epiphany of like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense. Or you've just been through that and now you're like on your road. You're really getting that about yourself. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm feeling this one. 7 of Cups. Make sure you can see that. Yeah, 7 of Cups is like building castles in the sky, having so many dreams that you can't focus on one thing. But I like to read it very differently. That's one interpretation of the card. Ace of Wands. Remember I was saying it's like you're having an epiphany. You're going to be inspired. Maybe you're going to start doing things like the old ways. Like you'll start doing potions or tinctures or herbalist, or like this is a cool ass lady with a cauldron and she's all looks Puritan like, but she's totally an awesome witch. She's like, yeah, it's like somebody's looking through the keyhole at her and seeing that she's like making potions. And then there's these cups here. So it's almost like you pay attention to your dreams. If you're someone who doesn't remember your dreams, then pay attention that you might have some dreams that are going to come up that you'll really, really like remember, and try to tell someone right away when you wake up so you don't forget it. Or those of you who do remember their dreams a lot, see if you can pay attention to some signs or synchronicities in dreams, maybe like butterflies, cups, cauldrons, keys, keyholes, potions, a dove. But yeah, there's something, sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. It's like you're cooking something up, like something is being cooked. Can I have some more information, please? Oh, I got 2, so we'll take them. Ace of Swords and 6 of Pentacles. So Ace of Swords and Ace of Wands. It's like you're recognizing you're having an epiphany about the truth. You're having a huge realization about some truth. 6 of Pentacles. This card is interesting because this figure is blindfolded. Also, their hair looks like a fish, but not really, or like a bird. Anyway, sorry. I just squirreled. What is in their hand right there? Oh, they're holding their veil. This person has their eyes closed. This one looks, I thought this was an angel, but it's just like markings behind them. The 6 of Pentacles is usually about like generosity and having your needs and met so that you can offer to other people. Or that's how I like to read it. This is interesting. I feel like it's almost like somebody is bringing you towards this realization or this truth. So maybe someone invites you to like a club or some kind of drum circle or something in that nature. But they're inviting you because they want to gift you with some kind of knowledge or truth that they have. So you always say no if you don't want to do something, but if somebody offers to or is inviting you to do some kind of cool thing and it sounds fun to you, then you should go, because it seems like you might get some kind of realization, or that's happened and that's just confirmation that this is a real thing that's happened and that you're on the right path and that you are not crazy. That's been a theme tonight, not crazy theme. It's not all in your head. Oh, okay, this one wanted to be the one, so we're gonna pick this. Conserve. We have transformation. Interesting. Yeah, transformation. So what can, I don't think I did answer, like, what can pile 3 do to heal whatever this is of feeling excluded in the past or like they didn't belong? I need to drink water. Give me a moment, please. We'll see if I remember to edit this part out. Sorry, I hope you couldn't hear that, because that is one of my pet peeves, is when I hear someone like swallowing or chewing or blowing snot on camera really close up to the speaker. It's too much. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 from each of these piles, and I'm gonna hope for 1 green one. But if I could get some real clear confirmation here, I saw this green one that's going on. What can they do now? Definitely got this, like, conserve your energy, or this idea of, like, you do not owe anybody yourself. Sorry. Stop that from shaking. You do not owe anyone anything. You don't owe pieces of yourself or your time or energy. And maybe the transformation that's happening now that can be part of this healing is that balance of saying, you know what, I don't want to do this for you, or I can't, this idea of people pleasing or feeling like you need to do everything or go to every event that you're invited to, or even though I just told you to go to this event, but this idea of people pleasing, this idea of like putting other people's needs before your own, because you have this healing to do about feeling ostracized or like left out. So you might have some FOMO now, or feel like if you don't say yes to everything, people will stop inviting you to do things. There's a message of conserving your energy and conserving yourself for yourself idea, is that sometimes we can be too generous, and then we end up burning out or feeling disingenuous or feeling like something's really one-sided. It's just not always a great feeling to give, especially if it's the intention is based on some fear, this past thing that needs to be healed about not being welcomed, wanted, included, seen, appreciated, all of that stuff. Okay, so what do we have? So say no, conserve your energy. Love, yeah, so self-love, partners, relationships with friends, all of that. It's like the truest form of like kindness I think you can do for a partner is to love yourself first, so that they don't have to worry that you're burning yourself out or not getting your needs met, and they don't have to try to be psychic. Butterfly, remember when I said, wait, didn't I say earlier that you might see butterflies or dream about butterflies? And then this is a butterfly and this is a butterfly. So definitely, if you're noticing a lot of butterflies, you can take that as a sign that you're on the right path. That's a beautiful synchronicity. It can also remind you, oh yeah, I'm supposed to conserve energy and not try to make everybody happy at all time. This is a change for the better. Yeah, there's definitely a vibe of this transformation from doing things because you want to, as opposed to feeling like you have to. Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. And fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. So yeah, forest. And if something in here reminds you of something, intuitively you get a hit, that's what it means. Don't listen to me, listen to your intuition. Butterflies could remind you of a person. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm hitting the camera and it's wobbling. I hope it doesn't make anyone want to barf. So let me feel this for a second. Let me actually read transformation and conserve. And then there's something about the forest and the fire that's getting me. So I want to come back to that. So let's read transformation. Transformation, blue butterfly. It's no accident that the butterfly represents transformation, rebirth, and resurrection. Remarkably, when the caterpillar becomes a chrysalis, it doesn't just instantly become a butterfly. It actually dissolves into a kind of soup. In other words, it liquefies itself, and out of that emerges something completely different. It is a true transformation. That's so cool. This is the time for change, reinvention, or rebirth into a new way of being. If you've been plodding along, this card suggests that you take measures to shift everything. Don't resist change. The blue color suggests a spiritual renewal or initiation. Transformation doesn't mean taking something old and remodeling it or rearranging a few things. It means becoming something completely different or doing something completely different. Change is often uncomfortable, but it is usually for the highest good. This is a very lucky card, and drawing this card can mean that a wish may be about to come true. I do really feel like there's this sense of like, you're going to finally feel like you belong in your own skin, and you're going to love yourself, and you're going to, or be working on that self-love, where it will be easier for you to say no and not people please and conserve your energy more, because it's going to be naturally coming out of your mouth more easily than prior to this kind of shift that you've been doing. Oh, interesting. So these cards are those of belonging. See if you can see that belonging. Winter belonging. Isn't that interesting? And you've got conserve. Nope, that's right. I went to the wrong place. Hold on. Flow, inspiration, and belonging, appreciation, belonging. Interesting. Okay. May you find the balance. Through autumnal slowing and winter sleep, the turn of the seasons reminds you that rest is a vital part of living. You listen to your body and spend your energy wisely, without guilt. You withdraw from commitments that drain you and follow your soul's call for replenishment and balance. May you anticipate your needs. May you treasure your well-being. May you gently recharge. May you belong to yourself. I carefully make the right commitments. Yeah, that is so great. It all totally makes sense. I'm still not sure about the forest. The first thing that came to mind was just like, you can't see the forest through the trees, meaning that sometimes when you're in the thick of things, it's really hard to be objective. And so maybe like do what this is saying and conserve some energy, take some time to be introspective. But whatever, I'm getting this message of just like the passion you're going to feel toward and love you're going to feel towards yourself as you, and might be feeling now as you're doing this, is going to be, just feel really incredible. And this is going to be, I feel like you're definitely healing whatever this was, this feeling of not belonging from the past. So amazing job, Pile 3. That was really cool. If it resonated with you and you want to claim it and like this video, or leave me a comment saying how, or subscribe to my channel, thank you. And either way, I so appreciate you being here. And I really hope that this was a helpful message of hope and healing. And I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. And me and my colored green stained hands say goodbye and good night.